What's going on, everybody? Welcome back down the Barbarian Bar. I have a few Demkos on the table, and I kind of made a mistake. I should have shown these off sooner, but they sold out really fast. These are the Shark Cub Stealth, and I made a mistake. I should have shown them off, but I do have something that is in stock here. This is the Nano Shark 20 CV, just a little guy, something I am actually more fun about than I even knew about. I'm going to talk about this one, but first let me talk about this one really quick here. This one has a nice soft spot in my heart. And why do I say that? Well, they've got me written all over them. Black, gray. Actually, I shouldn't even call that gray. The actual real name is Artillery Gray. And yeah, that just speaks to me. And if you want a really in-depth video, I did talk about of course, the budget version. This one's an Oz 10. Super nice, of course. Got to have that shark lock on there. A super high quality lock, in my opinion. Of course, lefty and righty, ambidextrous. But this is the budget version. I've got a couple other G10 ones with 20 CV. But you know, if you want a good one and you want to get yourself into one, here's a good one. But if you want to kind of step it up a little bit here, like I said, this is the one to go with. You got 20 CV blade steel on there with this aluminum handles. They're light, they're stunning. You got that shark lock, and when they say stealth mode, you don't see too many all black hardware. Most of it's gonna have this like stainless steel, finish. Not like these. These are nice, and you can spidey flick them or front flip them. That shark lock just works, and these are super thin. So these aren't going to take a ton of real estate in the pocket with that deep carry pocket clip as well. These are going to be something for the everyday carrier, I guess you could call it. Like I said, I just can't get over though. That is just absolutely stunning. And when it comes in hand, like I said, these are small. Like I said, I'll kind of give a good reference. I wear a size extra large mechanics gloves. That helps you out here. So when I grip this, I'm going to squeeze into it. It does kind of, there we go. There we go. It's kind of hard to show, but you can see just a tiny bit hangs out. And, for really getting in there and using it, it just fills the hand just enough. You got some nice jimping in there. Your hand really gets pushed on there. A question that somebody asked was, well, what happens if you push on this? What happens if you push on that? And they were talking, your thumb. Well, you can use that. It kind of hides in there a little bit. Maybe a little bit of a different type of a grip. But somebody's like, oh, aren't you going to just no, you're going to unlock the lock. No, you're not. This is a lock that you've got to know how to use. You hand this to a first-time shark lock user, you got to pull back, and it takes a little bit of, I don't know if you want to call it extra work, but you got to get in there, and you got to just kind of push back. It's almost like a pull and pull up. You're almost pulling up on the lock to get it to break loose. So you're not going to be able to take that lock and accidentally unlock it. It's impossible. And here's the thing: even if I don't know how to, let's see if I can. If I even tried to pull back, it takes a little bit of work. You got to know what you're doing. There's enough detent in there that, like I said, if you've never had a shark lock in hand, you almost are gonna. I don't know. I don't want to say fail it, but you got to know what you're doing. Like for me, it's hard to fail it because there's like this. I don't know. The spring is tough enough, yet I don't even know how to describe it without you actually doing it. Maybe this one's a better example because this one's bigger and thicker, but you can almost see. I'm just so used to it. It's if you're into pew-pews, let's just call it that way, boomsticks. The trigger is different. It's different, and that's kind of how I describe it. It's a learning curve, and if you've never had one or you have one, if you have one, you know what I'm talking about. If you've never had one, get your hands on a shark lock, and you'll absolutely understand what I'm talking about. But quick comparison up to the 80-20 pot 20.5. Some people don't like to say dot. I call it the Demko 80-20.5, and people don't like that, but I'm going to call it that. But you can call it the 20.5, however you want, of course. So there's a good size comparison because this was like my go-to Demko knife for everyday carry, and this one's just a little bit smaller. And if you want to compare it to the Oz 10, I mean it's identical. It's just less girthy, you could say. It doesn't have all that beefiness, and I'm okay with that. Like I said, I like the way this one feels in hand. but man, the aesthetics of this is just spot on. And of course, it comes in that artillery gray with a other option being the black. These are just absolutely cool. I'm a huge fan of them. I truly am. If you wanted a kind of comparison, here's the Nano Shark up to it. Like I said, we'll come back to that. Don't worry, we're going to come back to that here. All the Shark locks do have a spring in there, and they do have a replaceable. It's $5 if that spring ever goes out. I don't know if maybe you want to monkey with it. I've never monkeyed it with it. I have taken these apart and put them back together, just reassembled them. There's a small spring right here that holds the lock from going back. And like I said, with a lot of knives, and I've said this in past videos, that you're going to have this spring in there. Sometimes I don't like that. Like Benchmade's bug outs. They got well, I thought I had one near me. Anyways, the Benchmade bug out has a Omega spring in there. Sometimes you see those break. You hear about that. Well, these are like, they literally look like a pen, you know, like a pen in here. Let's see, here's a pen right now. I bet you this has a spring inside of it. This is a bolt action pen. Actually, I'm opening it backwards. Oh, I did it backwards. Oh, man. There we go. Basically, this is what the spring looks like, but a lot smaller right here. So I'm not saying you can use a pen spring, and I'm not saying you can't. I've never tried. Get back with me in the comments if you've ever done that. I guess kind of maybe a little science project I'm gonna have to try out for myself. Anyways, coming back to the knife here, I don't know how I got down that tangent about the spring, but it's kind of something important. They call it the Silver Slicer Shark, and it is a 2.5 inch cutting edge on CPM 20 CV, and of course it's diamond-like coated DLC with a hard anodized aluminum handle. Andrew Demko's designs are absolutely awesome. Hopefully they come back, but they're out of stock. But let's take a look at the Nano. All right, so here is the Nano, and I'm a fan of this little guy. And if you are a fan of opening boxes, this is your jam. I'm going to tell you right now, it is little, yes. Shark lock is super thick. Look at it compared to that Nano, or sorry, the Nano versus the Demko stealth mode, or the Cub, of course. Look how thick that bad boy is. Here's a 20.5. You can just tell it's girthy. It's probably all the way up there to the big boys. I don't have one on the table to compare it to, but man, it is girthy, and I like that. It's a beast. It feels good in hand. That 20 CV blade. This is like a mini tank. Anyways, it is super good. And one thing about that lock, again, super easy to use, super fidgety, big jimping up there, a big hole. And what do they call the blade here? I think it's just called the Nano Shark. It has its own name. That's really neat. As far as being small, got a nice deep curvy pocket clip, so it's going to take up zero real estate. It really comes down to it compared to other things. It may be thick, but that's not really a big deal. Sometimes it's the ones that are super long or super wide. You talk about this thing overall, like the thickness is 3.4 millimeters. And when you talk about the overall length when it's open, it is just a little guy. Just a little guy at 5.87 inches. And the blade cutting edge length, I'm going to call it, the cutting edge of the blade is 2.125 inches. Comparing that up to a couple of the other ones, of course, you got the Shark Cub and the 80 20.5. It is just a little knife, and that's okay. Very cool, honestly. I would say it's going for $230 right now, so they are available if you want to get your hands on here. Like I said, this is like an overkill utility box cutter. I like, if you don't like, constantly taking out the blades or those, box cutters, this is a perfect replacement for you. That's for sure. This is nice. 20 CV, that's going to be good for $230. This is going to last you a long time. Get yourself a nice strop, a nice sharpener, and you can get rid of all of those utility knives. This is going to be your replacement here. Super cool. Of course, manufactured in Taiwan as well. Another, like I said, place where I know good knives are coming out of there, in my opinion. I've done some research, and let me tell you, trust me, I guess that's the best I can say here. If you don't believe me, do the research as well, or, comment down below. What are your thoughts? Anyways, let's talk about the G10 handles here. I like this little guy here. Demko Shark Lock is a tried and true lock. One lock that, I'd love to really actually put through the tests here. If you want me to, let me know in the comments. I might have one that I can check out. Maybe I'd give up. Gosh, I don't like destroying knives, but maybe I'd check out to see how far that lock can really go. Well, if you guys like that, let me know down in the comments. I'm not gonna, purposely damage or torture a knife unless it's worth it, unless you guys really do want to see that. But with that being said, check out the Demko knives. I'll have links down in the description below. I believe I do have an affiliate link. Get you guys a discount if you guys do like anything that is coming out of the Demko store. Super cool knives. These are just the ones I have in the pockets. These are the ones that have been really rocking my personal rotation. And I still can't decide which one of these two I like more. They're all cool. Like I said, these are the ones that I've been just carrying a lot. I'm a fan of the Demko Shark Lock. Check out the link in the description down below. Get you guys yourself a little discount. And once again, guys, as always, make sure to like and subscribe. It lets me know if I'm doing a good job. It's the free currency here on YouTube. Check it out. All you gotta do is hit a button and get notified and see more videos from me. This doesn't cost you anything. So if you like and subscribe, I appreciate it a ton. And what else I want to say is, everybody have a great rest of the day, and make sure your coffee is stronger than your toddler. Man, that coffee's good.